Hey there. If you are joining me already, I think it's being recorded already, but I usually wait just a few seconds until I can see the indicator in the top left corner showing how many people are viewing it. Even if it's zero, it'll pop up when that connection has been made between StreamYard and YouTube. So someone had mentioned that to me a while back, just to go live a little bit early so that connection could be made. So at noon, there we go. It's connected now. So thank you so much for being here. Let me go to the comments real quick. Hey, Monique. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. Jess Sampson. Hey, what's up? Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I started a little early only because I understand that there's a connection issue between a StreamYard and seeing it on YouTube. So I had started and then there was like a little bit of a delay on YouTube. So I wanted to wait on that. So if you're new here, thank you so much for being here. And if you are returning, thank you for joining me again. Hey, Diana, thanks for joining. I know that you've got a busy day today. So I appreciate you carving time out to join us. Thank you. So today, well, if you're new here, I'm Vicki O'Neill, the host of The Marketing Stream. And this is a live show I do every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time in a way to share marketing practices, marketing strategies, tips, techniques, best practices, just a way to help you with your business and with your marketing efforts. So every week I go live. Of course, if you can't join me live, then the replay is available. So that is always there as well. Let's see here. What's up? What's up? Everything is going well. I know, long time no see, right? I just saw you in Pat Flynn's live stream. It's a great place to connect, right? You guys are saying hello to each other. Hey, fun will now commence. Thank you. Long time no see there too. I love the fact that we've met so many people in Pat's live stream. There's so many wonderful people there to not just connect with, but to engage with and help support as well. So thank you for being here. Today, I am going to review a marketing myth. Last week I did one. This week I was going to do another one because I think there's some, maybe some belief in that when you drive more traffic to your website, that automatically equates to more leads or more sales. And really, that's not the case, because you can drive as much traffic as you want to your website, but if it's not high value traffic, like your ideal customer type traffic, then it's not going to generate leads and it's ultimately not going to drive any sales either. So it's important to understand what that is. Hey, Rafal, thanks for joining. This is awesome. I'm glad to see so many people here from the live stream. Yay. Thanks, guys. This is awesome. Monique has her live streaming show on Mondays, and she's a pet photographer in Colorado. So if you want to see how a in-person type service operates online and in person and in live stream, she's a great person to do this. She's been doing live streaming, I think, now for 5 years, whether it was on Facebook or she's using Streamyard too onto YouTube. And then Diana I met, and she does online courses. She helps design online courses, which if we've been in Pat Flynn's live streaming, we know that's a hot topic for a lot of people. So she actually helps facilitate that. And she's great at details and helping navigate through which platform and just what you need to do ahead of time and all of that. So she's great at that. Let's see here. Yay. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you guys are, hey, D90 Bell. Thanks for joining. It's so good to have you guys here. So today's marketing myth is really about more traffic to your website, not really equating to more sales. So I've mentioned this in different podcast episodes, and I like to give examples and just one that everybody can relate to. So if you're a florist and you're driving traffic to your website, anyone can buy flowers, right? Depending on what you're doing, who you're buying them for, the time of the year, etc. But not everybody's an ideal candidate, even in a particular geography for that particular business. So while you can have all kinds of traffic going to your website, if I'm looking for maybe not fresh flowers, but maybe I'm looking for artificial floral arrangements and you don't provide that, and you don't share that anywhere in the marketing that you're doing on social media or in your direct mail, florists, they might be doing more direct mail, or any of your email marketing, then I may go to your website. And if I'm allergic to flowers, then of course I'm not an ideal customer, but now I've gone to your website. So knowing that that traffic that's going to the website, that traffic in that example is not ideal. So yes, you've increased your traffic number, but it's going to affect your lead conversion because that person is ultimately not a good customer for you. So one of the things that I always like to talk about is understanding who your ideal customers are, because you can market anything you want online, whether it's through social media or in live chats or, being a guest on somebody's podcast. But driving that traffic to your website really needs to resonate with the people, not only seeing the message, but when they get to your website as well, because ultimately you want those people to connect or convert to a lead and then ultimately a customer. So a recent example for me is that I updated my website. I received an email, had some feedback, went ahead and did the update. And I'm like, I want to see if it's actually good. Did I make the right decision? Get some feedback from some people. So on LinkedIn, I did a before and after shot. And I posted it, wanted to see if anybody had any constructive feedback. I love feedback because that's the only way we can give out it, right? So now anyone who saw that in my network, there could be people who are not my ideal customers, but also my ideal customers. So if you think of anyone who saw that, if they clicked on the link and said, I want to go see it live on her website and see how these buttons navigate and see if it's really frictionless and if it's helpful to the home screen in order to decrease my bounce rate, because that was the reason why I made the updates, was the bounce rate was high or was increasing. So I wanted to reduce that. So people who are going to my website at that point aren't necessarily an ideal customer. They might just be curious, like, what does this button on her homepage do? Why did she do this? And they might even click through, but they're not an ideal customer. They see it and they just want to, figure it out and see how it works. Maybe they're having a similar problem on their website and just want to learn from other people. So that's traffic that was driven to my website, but not ultimately anyone who may want to be a customer of mine. So looking at that traffic number, sometimes it can be misleading. And if you don't know who your ideal customers are, you don't have them defined, or you don't even know who you're targeting. If you're marketing to everyone, then you're marketing to no one, right? So it's important to just have that understanding of who those people are. I'm going to go back over here real quick and, oh, you're welcome, Diana. See if I'm missing anything over here in the feed or in the chat. I'm going to go through these real quick. This is when I need to wear my glasses because I'm having even more and more trouble seeing my screen. The like button is looking so smashable this morning. I love it. Thank you, Jess Sampson. All right. I think we've got this. You guys are saying hello and engaging. I love that. Yes, a high bounce rate is bad. LinkedIn is great for business feedback. I love it there. Yes, I have found a lot of value on LinkedIn in getting people's feedback and keeping it short and simple. That has worked as well. We do that a lot in the chat on Pat's live stream as well. A lot of conversations are going on in the live chat there. And then also in the Slack community that Wrap and Combat created. So that's an awesome community as well. It's always good to have some resources that you can reach out to and just get some feedback, right? So 3 things that I wanted to just review and kind of put out there as a reminder of things that you can do to, if you're going to increase the traffic to your website, to make sure that it's the right kind of traffic. It's a high value traffic. It's traffic that's going to convert and ultimately make more money for you. So one of those things, like I mentioned, is just knowing who your ideal customer is. And there's some people who believe in creating avatars or personas. And if you're already targeting the right people and your traffic's awesome, you just want to increase it, but you've already got a high conversion rate, then what you're doing is working. So continue. There's no sense in trying to change what you're doing if it's already working for you. So just keep going. You're doing awesome. But if you're not getting the right kind of traffic and you're just not real sure who your ideal customer is, before you start driving more traffic to your website, really understand who that person is and then start identifying what you can do in your marketing messaging on social media or wherever you're marketing your brand and your services, and create a better not only message, but a way to attract them to your messaging and an appropriate call to action to convert them to your website. When they get there, then of course, create a great experience. Frictionless is good, and the fewer clicks to get to the point is best. Would you agree? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you agree with that. So it's always knowing who your ideal customer is. The second one is sharing what problem you solve. So I work with small businesses, and they're businesses who are established. They've been in business for at least 5 years. They've gotten to a point where they've plateaued, but they really don't have the time or the budget to hire like an executive level marketing person. Like I'm a fractional CMO for small businesses. So I provide that leadership, that strategic view and expertise to small businesses who don't want to or can't hire a full-time CMO. And a lot of times, as we know, just as business owners, is that we get so ingrained in our own business that a lot of times, time passes and we have no idea, what's going on sometimes because we're just focused on making our business work and heading towards those goals that we have established for ourselves and making sure that our people are being taken care of as well as our customers. So it's important to take a step back and just kind of lift your head, look around and see what's going on around you, and understand sometimes that maybe you do need some outside help. Maybe it's not a marketing person. It could be an operations person. It could be a salesperson. But knowing that you need that help, you just need to know what the resources to go to. So I'm that person. So I don't necessarily narrow down or niche down into a particular industry, but I come into a small business and help them evaluate their current situation and help them take their business from a plateau to grow, which is why I'm the Plateau to Grow marketer. So, and I love that. I love figuring out how to uncover an issue, maybe a roadblock, something that's holding them back, or just help them take their business to the next level. I absolutely love that. Yay, I got some thumbs up. Thank you. Yes, you guys agree. Awesome. Monique, D90 Bell, fun will now commence. Awesome. So that would be, and in your messaging and driving your content there. So even though I serve small business owners, if it's somebody who's new or it's just a one-person company, or if they have, a big team already and they're looking to hire a full-time CMO. So there's different situations that really don't apply to me. So I need to incorporate that into my messaging and my marketing messaging on whatever platforms I'm promoting my brand. So it's important to let them know what problem I solve. It's, I create time for them so they can focus on their business while growing their business, and incorporating that messaging and that solvent. This is not a cleaning solution. That solution to the problem and incorporating that into my message, and just really being there as like a coach or just another resource to help educate on what's going on in their industry. So I need to make sure that I'm communicating that in my messaging so that anyone who sees, hey, there's Vicki O'Neill, she's talking marketing information. What is it exactly that she does? They can look at my previous content, or they can go to my website and they can see the problems that I solve and whether or not we would be a good fit. And then that ultimately will help determine whether or not they become a lead and then ultimately a customer. So I want to drive more traffic to my website that fits that category of the person that fits my profile, right? So that makes sense. I hope so. If not, let me know. Ask me some questions. I am here to answer. It sounds like you could help them do an annual business review to see where they need to change. Yes. Yes, that is a great idea, Diana. And I might actually do that towards maybe in Q4, because I don't want to wait till the end of the year. because that's when everybody's on vacation, if they can even take vacations this year, right? So I will, that's a great idea. Thank you. It's interesting to have other people's perspective, because when you're inside the jar, you can't see the label, right? So thank you for doing that, Diana. And then the third thing that I wanted to review is how will you nurture that process once they get to your website? So it's one thing to generate traffic to your website, right? But once they get there, then what happens? And I think that's why there was more traffic on my website once I posted that before and after, because people were just curious. What happens when you click this button? The same is true with your website, is that once somebody gets there, that's great. You now have this increased number in visitors to your website, but are they then leaving? Are they bouncing from that page? Or are they starting to engage with each of your pages and ultimately getting to the point where they wanted to go to begin with, to buy from you? So it's important to understand that once they get there, how are you going to help them make that transition to the next step? Are you providing them with the information that they need at that point to convert into a lead? Or are you providing the information there so you can continue building that know, like, and trust factor, and continuing to provide educational materials so they can start to see you as an authority in that space and eventually go down that customer journey process with you? I think I see Tracy. Yay. Hey, Tracy. No need to apologize. I know you've got a lot going on, girl. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Tracy's in the UK, and she is a marketer like I am. So she is phenomenal. She's got a lot going on too with like the customer journey and marketing as well. So she is a phenomenal marketer. And we met through John Asperian. His name always gets pulled into conversation sometimes. So I said always and sometimes. His name gets pulled into a lot of conversations. So that's the third thing that I wanted to review, is just how to nurture that process once you get that traffic to your website. So there are a lot of different ways that you can drive the traffic to your website, but just because you're getting the traffic there, and if the traffic's increasing, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to convert to leads and ultimately convert to sales. Let me know in the chat, what's been your most successful way of driving traffic to your website? Is it through a particular social media platform? Is it through a podcast? Is it through live streaming? Is it through other people, email marketing? Let's see, Diana, she says, oh yeah, John is a great connector of wonderful people. Yes, he absolutely is. His headline is relentlessly helpful, and he most certainly is. He helps everybody. So that's John Asperian, if anybody wants to connect with him. He spends all of his time on LinkedIn. He's a technical copywriter. So that's where his ideal customer is, and that's where he spends most of his time. Tracy, Twitter with links to my blogs. Yes. And you do a lot of great content on Twitter, Tracy. I've got you in my awesome people column. So I see all of your content that you put out there. Yes. And you do a great job of mixing it up to the messaging and the images and the links and the hashtags and everything that you need in those tweets to make them effective. So that's great that is working for you. Yay. All right. Do you guys have any questions for me or anything that you want to have clarified? Still have time for tea. Yes, we always have to make sure we have time for tea and coffee, right, Tracy? Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And obviously after the live, if you have questions too, you can leave them in the comments, and then I will get back with you as well. But this is a pretty straightforward way to combat that. More traffic to your website equates to more sales. And I think we probably all know that. The only caveat to that is that if you are getting, or if you're trying to drive more traffic to your website and you are getting more leads and more sales, then I would say that you've got your ideal customer avatar already defined, or it's been defined for you. And therefore, that's why you're getting more traffic and more customers. So, all right, let me see here. Nope, I think that's it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this session of the Marketing Stream. I appreciate you guys being here. It looks like a lot of chat was going on between you, which I love to see. So hopefully you guys are connecting as well outside of this. And if there's ever anything that I can do to help you, if you have questions, obviously let me know. And until next time, make today great.